In times of struggle, we must remember those who carve their own path. The Shaker-uppers, the Maker-uppers, the break away from the Church of England after the English Civil War and found the Quaker-uppers. Those who, when asking doesn't do the job, simply take uppers. They are the Faces of Virtue! Greetings and welcomes, listeners, to another instalment of this series where I, the man Tom Crowley, seek to find the answers to society's ills not in the broad postulations of the political class, but in the day-to-day motions of ordinary folks. For example, the motions of spoken word artist, activist and community organiser Ken Pau Kamau, with whom you are about to hear me speaking to him. Many thanks to Adam Courting for putting us in touch with Ken. Ken, hi. Ken Pau Kamau. Lovely to meet you.
Yes, Ken Pau Kamau. Sometimes he's silent, sometimes he's loud, but everyone understands you can find him not standing on the centre, but on the outside of the crowd.
That's great. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, thank you.
I wasn't sure what was happening for a second there. So as the listeners will now have probably guessed, you are a spoken word artist?
Yeah, among other things, absolutely.
Right. Okay, so it's
spoken
a bit like a poet, but also
deadbeat poet. Some people think they understand, some people think they know it. But me, I try and avoid lots of these logos, and I avoid getting caught in the slogans. Because when I'm on a run, people don't call me Logan. They understand that my hand's not glowing. But when you see the red in my eyes, you know I started flowing. That's me.
Wow. I feel like I know you very well now, actually, for years. It's amazing the power of words, isn't it, to connect people with other people.
For sure, words they're like building blocks. Okay, they're like building blocks, but they're also like the cement.
In what way?
I guess the thing is, we can use words to kind of block ourselves out from the people that want to stand and point and shout. We can use words to bring people closer. Okay, right. We can kind of make a bridge, or we can make a little poster. We can use words to kind of connect all the adjectives and all the verbs and all of that. We can keep it moving, or we can just leave it all to the side like it all needs home improvement.
Yeah. You could build a folly out of words, maybe. Well, anyway, so you're from a very famous, some might say notorious housing estate in North London, aren't you? Tell us a bit about where you grew up and was it there, and how do you feel connected to your local area?
Absolutely. Can I just, firstly, I want to reject the word notorious because of the connotations. Of course, it's a beautiful estate. It's a fantastic, it's a vibrant, it's a thriving estate. Too many associations with these buildings that were built to really bring communities together. So it's a beautiful, vibrant, shiny place where I was born. I was born in the estate. There's a little hall. It's now called the Cristiano Ronaldo Hall. Used to be called the Cecil Rhodes Hall, but because of Cecil Rhodes and Rhodesia, people had to step aside and say, we need a little amnesia. So they took the word Cecil, put Cristiano, because we love the CR7. Of course, there's lots of people up on the floors. We call that the heavens at the top. And at the bottom in the hells, where you got all of the worst smells, like the urination, like the graffiti. However, the graffiti is how we greet people that meet me.
Yeah. Of course, lots of different housing developments and landmarks and public buildings and things have to sort of reevaluate the names that they've been given. Cecil Rhodes in particular, a very contentious figure, not a very pleasant figure from history, but, wealthy, and hence that allows him to sort of live on in immortality of being, having lots of things named after him. But now we question the logic of that. Yeah. But you say it's such a, it's such a beautiful and noble estate, but it is named after Cristiano Ronaldo because Cristiano Ronaldo visited and said it was the worst place he'd seen on earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as such, donated a lot of money to have it renovated because of how. I mean, I think he said that he witnessed like 4 stabbings.
Yeah.
During the dedication ceremony.
Absolutely.
We should say, I'm not sure we've said it yet, is the Scotch Bonnet Estate.
Scotch Bonnet Estate.
And that's on the border between.
It's the place where they thought they were going to make a lot of hate, but instead we made love. It doesn't matter whether you come from the ground floor or you look down from the heavens above. The whole estate, it straddles across 2 wards. It's 2 boroughs. Listen, the entire place is thorough. You can run one place, you can buy yourself a telly. You can run downstairs and instead of a VCR, you get a DVR. You can still buy a Walkman if you hop to the 4th floor. They're still selling stuff that you used to get in the Blockbuster store. You can still find employees from Woolworths and Our Price waiting to find out the next train time. All life is here. Everything exists in this Scotch Bonnet atmosphere. You put that on the Scoville, you find out it's the hottest. No one else can beat it, and no one else dare eat it. It's a Scotch Bonnet, man. It's where I live, it's where I was born, it's where I'm probably going to die.
Wow. Oh, okay. When you say probably die, you mean you're going to stay there a long time, not like you fear for your life every day?
I mean, life is chance.
But are you afraid for your life every day?
Of course. Of course. Right. You don't make the moves that I do without worrying about who's looking over, who's in the blue car. Is that a tinted screen? Is there a Magnum behind the screen ready for me? When I say Magnum, am I talking an ice cream? Or do I mean a gun pointed that makes me scream?
Yeah, interesting as well. It's sort of a variant on the classic "I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream" rhyme.
That's a good lyric.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, it's just the sort of vibrant, lively welcome that I think people have come to expect from an area with a bit of grit to it. You know, where real ordinary people live. There's a lot of
grit, actually.
There's a lot of grit. You must do quite well when the snows come.
Yeah, basically. So they decided a while back because of the rampant asbestos and because of the sort of lead poisoning, sort of successive builders and contractors that come, and they sort of said, well, actually, this might make a good storage place for materials that we can't keep elsewhere in the 2 boroughs. So, so actually, we have a lot of access to grit. We've got access to skips, to unwanted waste materials from failed housing developments, from other demolished places. So we got everything. Any season, we've got it.
Well, that explains one thing. I was looking on Google Maps at the estate on the Street View function, and I saw that there was what seemed to be a kind of a sunken parking area, but it looked like it had been paved. But so that's just grit.
Yeah, that's just
grit for gritting lorries, like piled up all the way from the basement floor up. Wow. So that. Does that not cause problems? Do children not sort of step on that and sink? I mean, I don't know what it would be like to have that much grit in one place, to be honest.
We sort of played Grit and Seek, which is a game that they developed with it. So what happens is you split up to 2 teams of 6. Obviously, you're wearing your the colours of your wing, and then basically one person from each team is counting. And, you know, like, you've got kind of like capture the flag where you've got to get the other person's flag. The counter the seeker has to get into the grit and try and rescue as many of the opposition players' team before they suffocate.
Wow. Okay.
So the most alive, the most people of the other team alive at the end, you win.
Wow. I mean, it's ruthless, but, you know, maybe these days people say that we coddle children too much. We protect them from the world rather than preparing them for the harshness of the world. So actually, maybe to counterbalance that, opening them up to like a needless level of danger and cruelty is quite a good idea.
To be fair, it's self-directed.
This is life.
It's self-directed.
Right. Oh,
which is,
they police it.
Yeah. So it's encouraging initiative. Those that survive are so robust They are so that the mental fortitude is impossible to imagine as an adult watching a 6-year-old that's lost 2 siblings and a best friend over what was effectively just a game to pass the time while you were waiting for them to actually fit fiber optic broadband so you could all jump back on the computers. Internet, to survive that, to come out of that, do you know, that basically that person is running security. I won't name their name because I don't want to sort of embarrass them, and also for safeguarding reasons. But basically, they have unofficially run security for the estate. Security for estate. There's over 2,000 people
while still
in the
children, or like
There's over 2,000 people in the area. They coordinate it. It's because you once you've seen that, there's nothing that scares you. Needles, guns, potentially exploding mines. Nothing scares you, and that's the kind of person that we realized. Quickly we were like, well, first of all, we were all scared. So for several months, we didn't go near him. But then eventually, we were like, wait, there's something here, and maybe because we were all getting intimidated and he started running rackets, we all decided, well, actually, if we give you an official position, maybe we can kind of get a bit more out of it as a community. So, and you were very significant in that process, because I think it was you that, and this is very in the spirit of Ken Pao Kamau, your whole, your drive, your ambition is you see somebody who's maybe struggling with, a lack of purpose, or somebody who doesn't appreciate their own value, and you swoop in and you tell them, no, this is who you are. There's a place for you. Let me feel the value that you have within you. That comes across to me from your work. And so you saw this kind of, well, let's call them what they are, a kind of incredibly hardened, elite street gang, and said, kids, do you want to put this uniform on and police the neighborhood? And they leapt to it, didn't they? I said it with a lot less bass in my voice.
Let's step back a second, because I feel we're getting too emotionally invested here, and so let's talk more in straight facts and events here. So you approach.
Let me give you a fact.
The gang of kids, and
96% of the people on my estate have never ever been on Snapchat. That's a fact.
Really, ever?
96% have never been on Snapchat.
That local security force, what's the name of them? They've got a cool kind of, Securicorp or whatever. There's a name for those kids that police the estate.
It's called Council Estate Horror Quad.
So, Council Estate Horror Quad.
Yeah.
How do you spell in quad? It sounds like
you don't spell it.
You don't spell it?
No. You just say it.
Quad.
Yeah.
Okay,
you just say it.
Council Estate Horror Quad. Yeah. Okay, so if there's someone causing trouble in the area, or someone disrespecting, or if Cristiano Ronaldo comes back, they're there to
Can I point something out?
Yes.
You didn't ask me what quad meant.
No, I think it's because it evokes things like.
So in my head, call me wrong. So either you felt this was a nonsense thing that this ridiculous estate has come up with, and I'm not even going to bother. Or you were too ignorant to even push further. So which is it?
Well, I mean, I'm asking the questions here. I don't. I'm not here to have my sort of social conscience tested against someone else's standards.
We can play it that way.
But I'm getting the sense that I'm getting the sense that you would like.
So you're not going to ask it now. It's just out there.
Well, what? Okay, what?
Because it's out there. Just
does quad basically mean group?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So moving on from that, so you've helped to establish a lot of wonderful programs like that in the Scotch Bonnet estate, and you're right. I don't want this to become some sort of slanging match. I don't want this to be some kind of piddling,
because we can battle rap. I will battle rap you if you want. Look, I've seen you, Tom Crowley. You're acting kind of weird with that stupid haircut, with that strange monk's beard. I mean, who's this guy? He's wearing check shirts. Nobody understands. To my eyes, that colour hurts. Listen, I've heard you talk about faces of virtue. What I understand is you just don't have a clue. See, we can do the battle rap thing if you want.
Okay, right, all right. Ken Pao Kamau, you've come on to my show. And you've approached this conversation with a lot of aggro. You've seemed to come across like you're trying to help, but you're more slimy and irritating than a school of kelp. I don't know if kelp move in schools, but I'm trying to roll with yes, and. So, okay. So Mr. Kamau, you go by the name Powell. You're from Scotch Bonnet Estate, which you claim is devoid of hate. But I'm feeling a lot of aggression coming in my direction at this conversation about the Scotch Bonnet Nation.
Yes.
Okay, right. We're back.
Standing ovation. That's what I'm
doing
talking
standing
about.
ovation. Wow.
Oh,
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, it felt really good actually.
Is that you?
Felt very. I felt empowering. Yeah.
Tom Crizzle.
Yeah.
Oh, Tizzle Crizzle.
Tom Crizzle. Yeah. I'm not sure I can say that. Well, so I mean,
my guy.
Thanks. That was actually really nice. But now I feel like I'm more on the same page as you now because I mean I felt very enriched by that experience. As I imagine a lot of.
Let me tell you something. Can I just put a word out to everyone? This is why you should never judge a book by its check shirt. This guy, it's a real new avenue for me. Wow, okay. Yeah.
Maybe I'll book in a few gigs.
Loving it.
Yeah. Do you run any shows like, rap battle contests at the Scotch Bonnet Estate?
I mean, the thing is, every night is a natural rap battle kind of thing. Spoken word, verses, poets. We've got classical musicians. We've got 4 pianos, 4 grand pianos on the estate in the North Wing alone. We're very, very, and we've got people going head to head. It's like Mozart versus Handel. It's like Bach versus someone else. It's just like all happening. 4
Beethoven.
Corners of the estate, Beethoven, 4 Seasons. It's all just happening. It's incredible. Have you ever seen a Picasso off?
No, I haven't. Well, what's that? What experience?
Imagine, so we've got Moonlight Sonata playing, right?
Yeah. Sort of being improvised in
from
wing.
From several wings at the same time.
Yeah.
All playing in different keys, all playing in different time signatures. It's bonkers.
Some of them playing a totally different piece of music as well because
it's ridiculous. Some people doing it blindfolded, some people doing it they've got one hand on the keyboard and one hand is literally live streaming kind of the whole event, doing interviews while playing.
Right. Is operating the rest of it. Yeah, okay.
So you can imagine that. So all of that is happening. Then there's like 6 people in an octagon. So we've sort of created an octagon. So there's always 2 spaces left, of course. So you can kind of create a dividing line across the middle.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So imagine 6 people having a Picasso off at 4 a.m. It's like the estate is heaving. There is sounds like the keys are just filling out the musical texture. It is just it's divine, and all of this, but it's also dissonant because obviously, as the different wings, there's also a delay between the wings. So you're having people in different time signatures, playing in different keys, playing from different wings, and starting at different times. So
it's amazing. I mean, what's incredible about this is you're painting what you're describing is a sort of total cacophony, being played very loudly in a domestic area at 4 a.m.
Yes.
And, and when you tell me about it with this passion, I think, wow, what an amazing place. But I think if I actually lived there, I would probably kill myself or at the very least phone the police. I mean, what we're talking about here is a cacophony. I mean, it sounds like Scotch Bonnet Estate is a vibrant isn't the word. I mean, not only are you afraid for your life about 90% of the time, but also you're existing in what I can only describe now as sort of a multi-sensory cacophony, not just audibly, visually, in terms of feel, smell, taste. Like it sounds like a sensory overload of just total, overwhelming life and vibrancy. Is that fair to say?
We have had several members of various mental health charities effectively protesting some of the, I guess, a lot of the activities that are scheduled and unscheduled on the estate due to the detrimental effects to pretty much 99%, if not more, of the community. So it's
wow. So you're. I mean, again, without wanting to get you into any legal difficulty here, you are I would say, from what I know, if not coordinating, then certainly encouraging these creative events.
Okay, I've got 7 letters for you.
Okay.
F.
Good start.
R.
Yes.
E.
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 E. I think I know with it. D.
O. M.
Freedom.
Freedom. I am the biggest advocate of freedom, and with freedom comes expression.
That's true. Expression of, yes, freedom to express. Oh, sorry.
P.
EX. P. Yeah.
R.
No. Yep.
E.
Yep.
S. S.
2 S's.
I.
I.
O.
O.
N.
It's N. You got to this. Thank you. Freedom of expression.
Got a bit confused.
All right. No, okay, that's fine. Well, that's
freedom of expression, and it's
right.
And with that does come risks and dangers and detrimental effects to the mental stability of various residents. Sorry, I'm just quoting the letter they wrote. Of various residents, which needs to stop immediately.
Yep.
Lest we bring in more. It goes on and on.
Yeah, it sounds very sort of nitpicking to me.
Yes.
So, I mean, you don't want to be bothered with that. But I would also like to just playing devil's advocate here for a second. And it's always good when someone says they're about to play devil's advocate. That always means something very productive is about to happen. I thought just playing devil's advocate for the moment, I'd just say, what would you say if somebody were to say to you, what you're doing is needless, obnoxious, devoid of creative merit and making a lot of people very unhappy living in already challenging circumstances? Well,
I will say the same thing that I said to my mum when she said those exact words or something close by. If you wish to live in a box that is locked, where every activity you start is stopped, where every time you try and run, the legs get cut from beneath you or they get rendered numb, where every time you try and leap, somebody pulls you down and puts you straight to sleep, where every time you try and inhale, you can't breathe. Because the air's been turned foul. If you want to live in that world, you can live there without power. Because power won't be there to support this kind of action. I don't care how much you tell me to get a grip, I will never let you get traction. So I will form my own faction. I will start a sect. And we're just going to keep doing things that you will never expect. And we will fight hard to hold on to the things that we want to protect. And if anyone dares not show us respect.
3 anyones.
I will look at you with disgust while my voice continues to inflect.
Okay. Well, that brings another question to mind, which is, of course, what you said there was very beautiful, I thought, and I thought you expressed some very complex thoughts very elegantly. But I think it could also be argued that what you did there was not answer the question in any meaningful way, but just say each of those sentences with a cadence that made it sound profound, while actually not addressing any of the questions.
Yes.
In fact, that is something that could be leveled at everything you've said to me so far, and in fact all spoken word performances.
You're right.
That you've actually said something that kind of sounds, you've said it in a tone of voice that suggests that it's more meaningful than it actually is.
Welcome to the English language, baby.
Welcome to the English language, baby. Okay. Well,
you see, if you add, there's another little trick. If you just add baby to the end.
No, I have found that to be true, to be fair. Yeah.
It just creates this feeling that you as the audience, the listener, the recipient needs to just chill out and go check yourself.
I can't pay my credit card bill this month, baby. Like that sort of.
Say that to Barclaycard the next time they call you up and say you're over your credit limit. Add that. I guarantee you the response will shock you.
Wow.
It will land in such a different way.
I forgot to get you a birthday present, baby.
That kind of works unless you call your significant other baby, in which case...
It sounds like making fun of them.
You might need a second baby. You might need a second
a way
child.
that many people try and bebe. I forgot to get you a birthday present, bebe.
No, actually doesn't work.
You can no, it
just do the one, baby.
It sounds a bit abstract now, doesn't it? A
just
bit like a piece of spoken word
But if
poetry.
you add a third, the thing is, if you add a third, it's like, oh, I did one, that works. I did two, oh, you've messed it up. I did three, oh, you messed it up on purpose. So add a third baby, try it again.
Okay, I'm going to try something else. Actually, I'm feeling so. I'm in the zone again. I think this is something you've brought out of me. But let's try it again.
I sense it.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm rolling with it. I'm imagining myself in that scenario. I forgot to get you a birthday present, bebe. Wow.
Yes.
Does that resolve it? Because it doesn't make sense. But then you resolve it at the end. And
Let me tell you what you just did there.
Well.
By the time you hit the butt of the third bebe.
Yeah.
They have no idea what is going on.
There's no idea. They're disorientated.
The present becomes a distant thing of the past. Now they're trying to work out whether you're having some sort of moment, an episode, whether you've been watching too much Kanye West or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's taken you to new places and you can just walk out the room.
Ken, I can't pay you your appearance fee for this interview. Bebe. Wow.
That was amazing.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, great.
The thing is, when you drop like the bebe, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then you hit the wow.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you're like, what? What's going on? Yeah, and I can't pay. So the
stuff they write about you on those subreddit posts is absolute rubbish. You are capable of incredible coherence. And beyond that, I think you're a maverick. You're doing something that you're providing a service, not just to this world, but to many other worlds and dimensions that people need to recognize. I'm signing up. I'm on your ticket, man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you're running, I'll be your vice.
Oh,
or your deputy.
That's so kind. I mean, maybe if I give you like some flyers or something, you can distribute them around.
I'm in the sidecar.
You know.
You got me, baby. Whoa!
I've forgotten what we were talking about now. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, you see? It works.
Yeah, no, it really works. It really, really works. So like, so I've got the bebe technique. That's nailed down. And, and I think I'm really starting to see things from your point of view. And so if I were to pursue that which is true, I might start to view late night Picasso offs featuring multiple musical instruments and cars and illegal street drag races as something to view as important and as something that we can all share because we care about our lives and the drives that we feel creatively and otherwise. Ken? Kenny, are you all right?
I'm good, man. Carry on. It's good, man.
No, cool. So I guess all that's left to say is that today I had a nice time learning to rhyme with Ken Pao Kamau. He's my friend now.
I am your friend for life. You hear that?
Yeah.
I will cut my hand. Give me that.
No, don't. Oh God, no! Ken, put the pen down, Ken. Oh God! Oh, there's a lot of blood shooting out. Oh no! Keep that away from the microphone, Ken, because that's going to cause some laughing.
I'm holding it over the laptop.
Okay, well, for the listeners, we're actually not in the same space. We're in different cities, and okay, well, all right. Let me just. I don't have. Oh, I've got a penknife here. Hang on. Oh!
That's it.
Okay. Now I'm not. Oh. Okay, I hit something quite deep there. Now there's quite a bit. I've got a first aid kit that's in the other room, and that won't help you either. Maybe if we just well, I was going to say put our hands, our bloodied hands on the screen.
Yeah,
but that's actually going to cause a bit of damage. So why don't we just sort of wave them at the cameras on the computers? And that's a kind of oh God, I'm feeling quite lightheaded now. Well, Ken, it's been wonderful speaking to you. But I'm going to have to hang up this video call and phone an ambulance. And if you think that an ambulance would make it into the parking area of the Scotch Bonnet estate and live, then maybe you should phone an ambulance crew now as
no,
well.
We've got our own built-in A&E unit. It's fine.
Oh, wonderful. It's staffed by another gang of violent kids as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay. Well, you give them a ring, and I'm just going to... sorry, I feel a bit sick, and I'm just going to go. So thanks so much for speaking to me on Faces of Virtue. It's been really.
Thanks for having me.
It's been really mind expanding, and I hope to speak to you again soon. Okay, bye, Ken, bye,
Tom. Skin a bit dark in here. I see a light. I see the light. It's kind of bright. It's looking like this might be the final good.
And distressingly, that's the last I've heard from Ken. I hope he's all right. But, well, what better tribute to the awesome in the classic sense, not the modern sense, power of words than Ken and I being driven into such a state of agitation by our poetic adventures that I needed 7 stitches in the palm of my hand and it still hurts a bit. And come to think of it, Ken must have survived the encounter, as he must have sent me the WAV file of his recording. Unless one of the council estate horror quads sent it to avert suspicion. I'm sure it's fine. Again, huge thanks to Adam Courting for connecting us with Ken. Adam is an actor and improviser who performs regularly with the Akaprov and Do the Right Scene improv groups. Upcoming gigs for both can be found at their Twitter accounts, at Akaprov Musical and at DTRS Comedy. Adam would also like to promote the Actors Cove, a London-based acting and improvisation school for students of all levels of experience, offering a variety of specialist classes and diversity scholarships to boot. So, if you're looking to learn a new skill or flex your creative muscles in your spare time, be sure to check out theactorscove.com. That's theactorscove.com. Adam is also soon to appear in a show we've already mentioned in this series, Gemma Arrowsmith Sketched Out on BBC Radio 4. As of this episode's release day, the first episode, guest starring the real actual legend Patterson Joseph, went out yesterday, and as such is now available to listen to on demand on BBC Sounds whenever, wherever and at whatever volume you like. Adam and I will be appearing in the 3rd and 4th episodes of the show out on the 6th and 13th of October. But if you like Crowley Time, then you really can't afford to miss out on the pure, undiluted sketch brilliance of Gemma Arrowsmith. So get onto BBC Sounds or onto the BBC Comedy of the Week podcast feed and catch up on Gemma Arrowsmith Sketched Out right away. And if all that isn't enough, remember also that you can hear the full extended great big cut of this episode with extra drama, excitement and poetry by signing up as a supporter at patreon.com/crowleytime. There you'll get all the great big Faces of Virtue episodes, as well as access to the supporter-exclusive Bonus Time podcast feed and every bit of bonus material I've ever put out. So go on, give me a break, and go to patreon.com/crowleytime and support this show. Go on! Most importantly of all, be sure to subscribe to this podcast feed if you haven't already, and check back in 2 weeks to meet the last in this run of Faces of Virtue!
Faces of Virtue. Here I am. Who knows where I'm coming from? You don't understand, this machine's pumping my lung. But there's loads of nurses here helping me with my verses. It's the faces I see, they're all full of virtue. Some for the many, but all are for the few. And as I see the light coming, I had to turn and run away. I said, I'm coming back for another day. So as I sit here and I swallow up this soup, I look down and go, this is some bland hospital food. I'll tell you something, let me tell you something nice. There will always be room in my heart for Tom. And no one can tell me that ain't right, 'cause he knows where I'm from. And I will say one final, but not the last, good night.